Okay, so I'm going to discuss the things we need to do this job and to do what we're talking about, the tools we have available. I run my own server that will change very soon. Sly is going to be setting us up with a dev server on a VM, so I can do everything I can now, but on a VM that everyone can access. That'll be much better for us in the long term. Right now, I do run my own, so I'm running MySQL 8.0. I use MySQL Workbench to do all of that. Um, I love MySQL Workbench. I'm familiar with it. I can open up, I can go to Ace World, I can click here, I can open the Landblock instance, I can select rows. I could even select this row, delete it, and if I press apply, it will not only delete it, but it'll generate me the code to delete it in the future. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to revert it. But it's one of those tips and tricks. Using this format is great. A couple things of note: if you run more than 50 files up here, if you open 50 files, it might have some issues. I've imported 1,200 files I had to verify independently. It took me a long time. That being said, you can, if it's a big file, one big file like our patch files, I don't use any of these. I use the file run SQL script and I run it straight from code. And you open it and then you say run or cancel. This does everything in our entire code. It takes about 2.5 minutes right now. That is, if you try and run that another way, it can bog up. Um, that's how I do things. Other than that, what other tools I have? Visual Studio does my compile, and it's also, I use this to start my server. So my server runs with debugging. It's running right here. I keep it running pretty much all of the time. I like to see every little thing. I've seen errors in a gen where the gen's just too close to a wall. You move it a foot over, no problem. It's something I keep track of. I'm gonna collapse that up there. Other than that, uh, the only other tools I use are Visual Studio's code. Other people like, and I had this open because I use region folding a lot. I love the starting a region, ending a region, and you can have your code collapse so it's easier to navigate. I enjoy that. It makes it easier for me. Um, Visual Studio's code, the colors, the way it lays out is something I enjoy. Other people use Notepad++. There's a lot of different programs. This is what I'm comfortable with. It's what I'm good at working in, and that's really where I'm going to be the most help. One of my favorites is you can right click, select for compare, right click, compare with selected, and you get a new file that's comparing the two files you have. If they were identical files but one had an error, there'd just be one red or green line telling you, hey, this isn't right. Very helpful in trying to sort your bigger issues. And, um, it's all free. So to me, I use these four. It's Visual Studio 2019, it's Visual Studio Code, it's the MySQL Workbench, and of course my Mag client launcher. It's set up to mine. Uh, you can add any server you want. You can add any amount of accounts you want. You can create little nicknames for your characters. Um, I don't even use Thwargle anymore. Other than that, Decal and AC on my computer, that is my whole tool set. Um, I do have a lot of spreadsheets and stuff that I'll be putting up in a few minutes. Cheers.